I'm going on a winter camp out, and what I'm going to do is show you what I bring along and how to get it all into this pack. First thing I do is start with a garbage bag, and this is a heavy-duty like lawn and leaf bag. The best bag to do what I'm about to do is actually a trash compactor bag, but there weren't any in the stores because people don't have trash compactors anymore. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that and tuck it in here. The first thing that goes into the pack and thus ends up in the bottom of the pack is my sleeping bag. This is the military sleep system. I have two bags for this. There's also an outer bag that I'm not going to bring along because I'm bringing a tent. So we just start by, there's no elegant way to do this, you just start putting it in there. Now it's basically in there, but now we have to start really kind of working that all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to keep pushing until we fill the entire base of this pack up. Because if you just stopped where I have it now, you're wasting a lot of room. You want to make sure that you don't push the bag down, or the trash bag down, with your sleeping bag so that you can close it up over the top. Now I use a sleeping bag system. This is probably more bag than I actually needed to bring. But the weather here in northern Michigan is a little bit unpredictable, and I'd rather have more bag than less bag because the temperature can drop pretty precipitously. The reason for the trash bag is that this isn't a waterproof backpack. I guess you could say it's like water resistant, but it's not waterproof. So things that I absolutely want to keep dry, I'm going to put into this trash bag, and then that will assure that I have a dry place to sleep at night. One thing to notice is that these straps on the side are actually compression straps, and when you're tucking all this stuff down in there, you want to make sure that those are all undone. Next thing I always put in there is a good pair of nice wool socks. And these are ones that are, it's basically a spare pair, but I put these on at night, and it makes sure that you have nice dry feet. And then the next day you can go back into your wet wool socks if they're indeed wet, and they almost always are, and they'll still keep your feet warm, but you got to dry your feet out at night. So we'll pack those down in there. And once that's done, that's basically for this trip all I need to keep safe and dry. So we're just gonna close up these drawstrings and make sure that our bag is as sealed as I can get it. And we've still got a lot of room in this pack. We've still got that much room. Next, I'll probably start putting pieces of this tent in there. This is a Hilleberg Actos. It's a one-man tent. If you're using a bigger tent and you have multiple people going with you, there's nothing that says that this tent has to stay in that bag. So what I usually do is I'll split the tent up between a couple different packs. But since this is a one-man tent and I'm going to be the only person sleeping in it, it all has to go in there. So let's figure this out. The poles break down pretty small, that's nice. And you've got your sticks here, your stakes. So I'm going to put the tent part in now. So for this, it's the same thing. You put it in here and you just start packing it down the best you can. This one has a couple little poles that don't come out, so we have to work around those. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to pack this in such a way that all of this, see, look at all that space that you can use there. Plenty of space. It can go down the front side of the pack, you know. There's no reason this should take up, you know, your whole pack. You got a lot of room in there, but you got to use it. You got to pack that stuff. You'll also want to have some sort of insulation between you and the ground. This is a Thermarest Neo Air. And this can be a little bit harder to pack in there, but this has to go in too, and there's still plenty of room, Just start packing it in. Next, usually goes in some of my cooking gear. This is what I use to melt snow and also cook in. You can make coffee in it. It's a Moore's pot. Inside I've got some camp suds, spork, and then I've got a little other pot here, because if you make a group meal and everybody wants to be able to eat, then I have my little cup too. This is an MSR Titan. This is a system I've been using for a long time. I don't know how long. And then I've got a sponge for cleaning the stuff up. This is a little fire kit just in case. I have a lighter and some Vaseline cotton balls, and then a fire steel. So that goes in here, as well as the sponge. And then, let's see, yeah, that goes in there. This MSR nests really nicely in the Moore's pot. Suds go on top. Spoon goes in there alongside. To actually melt the snow, I have an MSR Whisper Light. And the fuel that I'll need, I probably don't need this much, but I'd rather have extra because I don't plan on starting a fire or using any firewood. Now this goes into the pot. Or into the pack rather. And there's still plenty of room left. That's good because there's a few other things to go in here, but this is basically basic loadout. Next I'm going to put my insulation layer in. I will be hiking in, and I tend to get pretty hot when I'm hiking, but I like this right near the top of the pack. And this, if you pack it in right around this other equipment, it helps keep it from shifting and making a bunch of noise. Also near the top of the pack, I like to put a little cordage. This is just tarred bank line. You can use whatever you like. I like it because it's cheap and pretty darn strong. I think this is like 340 pound test or something like that. So next in goes the food bag. This is a waterproof stuff sack. In with your food, I always bring a bag that I can put my garbage in, because I pack all of that out. And then here's a pro tip. These blue shop towels, take a few of these, put them in a Ziploc bag and chuck them in there. You'll thank me later. And then this just goes right in the top of the pack. Remember I showed you that I brought some cordage along. You can also use this as a bear bag if there are bears or other critters around that might want your food and might try to eat you. So we'll just put this in here. And then over the top of this you can put other miscellaneous stuff like climbing gear, although a lot of your climbing gear would usually be on the outside of the pack. You can put cameras, stuff like that. I'm bringing on a little saw that one of my friends makes. I'm going to test out. So that'll go in. And then that's basically it for the main compartment of the pack. This one has a cinch that cinches right down, and then it's got another cinch that goes over the top. This. And there still was quite a bit of room left in this pack that I could have stuffed stuff in, but I really don't need to. And the next thing is this is the pack lid. Now some people will go without these. I always like to have them because there's extra storage in here, and I put things like toiletries in there. And I'll show you some other stuff I put in there. In addition to toiletries, like sunscreen and other things like that, obviously toilet paper, I like to bring a multi-tool, and that goes in there. I have a pair of prescription sunglasses that I like to bring along. Snow blindness is a real thing. And then I usually this will be with me. I kind of loop it around a belt loop, and then It's locked like that, so I can't lose it. Just a little pocket knife and then a small flashlight. I don't tend to use a flashlight much, but it's nice to have. You know, if you're trying to go through your pack at night or something and you can't find something or something in your tent, always good to have one of these. Also, don't forget earplugs. You'll thank me later. And water purification. This is a portable Aqua 2-part system. One is the thing that actually purifies the water, and the other is a neutralizer so that it doesn't taste funny. Even if you're melting snow, you want to do this. Now it's time to do our compression straps. I've done the bottom one here. We'll get the top one. And the idea is helps secure this load so that the weight doesn't shift, and just makes your pack look nice and sleek and well packed. And make sure you get those good and tight. Should have a sharp looking pack. Now I'm going to put the axe on. Most of the time I would just bring an ice axe, and I probably won't even use this. But some people wanted me to bring it, so I'm going to bring it. This goes up here, and you can either secure it under the strap there, or on this particular pack there's a little Velcro deal here that'll secure that nice and tight for you. And that's part of the compression strap at the top, so it'll lock it down real good like that. It's not going to come loose. Since I'll be camping in heavy snow, I'm going to bring my snow shovel. That just comes apart, and then kind of a similar thing, and it goes up, and same deal, you just strap it in up here with the Velcro. And then this, we're going to strap there, and I'll show how to do that, just like that. Alright, so I've got 2 pieces of shot cord here, and you see on the shovel here there's little holes. You just do like so. And the limiting factor here, I'm going to show you where you'll screw up, is these little clips. You have to find some that are pretty darn strong. And I got these from a place called Backcountry North. So I'll just secure this there for right now. We'll get that tightened down once I get this one on. Like so. There's a lot of ways you can put these on there, but this is the way I've done it before. Works pretty good. Put that in there. And snap-a-roo. And if these aren't strong enough, it's not going to hold, but these ones are really good ones. And let's see, let's get it tightened down real good there. And so that's going to stay put, not going to rattle around, make a bunch of noise. And that's basically it. That's everything I'm bringing along, and a little bit about why. Obviously, the shovel, I'm camping in deep snow, and I like to make a little platform to put the tent on. And then if it's deep enough, I dig a little well, a cold well, underneath the vestibule so that I can sit on the edge of the tent and have my feet down in that cold well, and I can cook down in there and do all sorts. Almost forgot, water. Gotta have that, and those just go in these side pockets there. That's it. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them. If you found this helpful, leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Thanks a bunch.